But you know who I think is an alien?
Who?
Miss Ariana Grande.
I really don't appreciate you putting my grade out like that for the whole class.
What's worse, candy corn or women's rights?
I fell asleep on my laptop and I missed the deadline.
Where's my dad? I'm all alone. I'm too small to be here on my own.
Are we starting? Is this recording?
Yeah, welcome back to Jelly.
Girl. So I was out to eat last week with my family, and I have a funny story about rejection. This guy goes up to my sister, and he's like, oh, hey. Like, hey, blank. Like my sister's name.
Sure.
And my sister is like, oh, hi. And then we all go back to our table. And she's like, that guy is really cute, but I don't know where I know him from. And so we're like, well, if you think he's cute, then you should
like
go.
He's a TikToker, or like he's a guy from school?
Like, probably someone from school, because he said my sister's name.
Oh.
She was working up the courage to talk to him the next time he came by our table. And it seemed like he was actually coming by our table frequently. Like, he was going out of his way to walk by our table.
Was he like looking at her?
Yeah.
Like a bombastic side eye?
Not like a side eye. Like, he was like just looking at her like out of the corner of his eye. Like, it was obvious. Like, it was obvious that the tension.
So they were
was
catching
there.
the vibe.
I guess they were catching the vibe, girl. And mind you, this is happening all in front of my mother.
Oh.
And she was
Your mother is probably like,
girl, right. And so the guy comes back the first time, and my sister just looks down at her phone and doesn't say anything. Ooh. And we were like, why didn't you say anything? Like, you should have said something. Mm-hmm. And then he comes back the second time, and then my sister is like, hey, can you come over here? And he comes, and then she's like,
damn, she bold.
She's like, where do I know you from? Because you look so familiar. And then instead of saying literally anything else, because there were so many ways that he could have said something in order to make it work. Because my sister thought he was cute and wanted to give him her Instagram. The guy goes up to her and he says, oh, I know that you didn't know me, but I don't really give a f-. And then he walks away. And everyone at the table is like, and my sister's literally there like,
damn, dude. Why was he so rude for no reason?
Literally so rude, and like, he was the one who came up to her, and she was literally gonna give him her Instagram, and he just fumbled it in the worst way.
Well, so the big news in the US recently is that people are screaming over aliens are real. Actually, people don't really be caring like that.
Fully, they don't care.
They don't care, but...
like, I think the people who said it thought it was going to be, like, national news. Like, the whole world was going to stop. No one gives a f***.
But the thing is, people are claiming that, oh, aliens are real. But that might not be necessarily the real tea. So, what's been happening is that at an official U.S. Congress hearing, a former intelligence officer testified under oath that the government recovered UAPs, which is like the new term for UFOs, and non-human biologics. So that's very, like, vague way of saying...
It's very vague.
Right. So I don't necessarily think that confirms that aliens are real, because you could recover some kind of spacecraft that you don't know what it is. And it might not even be spacecraft, first of all. It could be from a different country.
Right.
And if it hits, like, a bird or something and it kills it...
Exactly.
That's a non-human biologic.
Fully.
So it's a very roundabout way of saying maybe aliens are a thing.
But do you believe in aliens?
Personally, I do. I think because the universe is so big, there's not a chance that we are the only living beings in this entire universe. And I'm not saying that there is 100% chance that there's intelligent life like humans, but, you know, there is most definitely going to be bacteria or some sort of, like, small microorganisms, like, out there lurking.
Right, well, I agree.
Oh, you agree now?
Fully, because that was always my argument.
Oh, was it?
We had a whole huge argument.
It was not an argument, first of all.
First of all, it was an argument.
It was not an argument.
It was a debate, then, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Where she was trying to come for me for saying that I don't believe in the big blue people, that I don't believe in, like, the green
I have never said
aliens.
that there are blue, green,
like,
purple
and I just said I
aliens.
don't believe in that. I said I believe that there could be bacteria.
I asked you if... Okay, I
planets.
asked you if Earth were to explode, would all life cease to exist? And you said yes. And I said, are you an idiot?
Well, I stand by the fact that all I ever said was that I don't believe in intelligent life. But I believe that there could be many bacteria on other planets
Well,
that are alive, quote unquote.
let's just say this is character development for you.
Period. Here's a spicy question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you date an alien?
I feel like if an alien were to look like Superman, then sure. But if they were to look like E.T., then hell no. I'm killing that thing.
You're right. You fully right.
But would you date an alien?
I would.
Because you look like one already.
So, I would look at an alien and I would inspect him. And I would have to see what he's working with. So, if it's...
How many inches?
Right, how many inches?
But on Mars, they actually go by meters.
How many meters? And
you can handle many meters.
Foley. Thank you, girl.
You're welcome.
She got confidence in me.
One of your proudest achievements in your life, honestly.
Foley. And I'm not mad about it.
Well, I'm happy for you.
Thank you. So, yes, I would put that gorilla grip on the aliens.
Well, do you have any criteria for what they would have to look like? Or it's just about what's not visible?
Just like in my taste in humans, it's just about what's not visible.
Okay. So, you're so very open-minded, honestly.
Thanks.
Yeah. But you know who I think is an alien?
Who?
Miss Ariana Grande.
Oh, she's the transition king.
Have you heard the recent debacle? Debacle? Is that a word?
Yes.
The recent debacle of Ariana Grande.
Yes, I have. You know.
So, Ariana has been accused of being a homewrecker because she has, let's just say, a history of going for men who are already involved with others. Mm-hmm. And most recently, she divorced her husband because her husband was like, first of all, I didn't expect the fame from Ariana, which that's so dumb because who do you think you were dating? Like, you thought you were dating this guy? Like,
oh, period. And you should expect the fame too.
Anyway, so she is now currently in a relationship with this guy named Ethan Slater. His most famous role, let's just say that, is that he's playing the live action musical
of SpongeBob. Yeah.
Let's break that down. Let's break down his appearance.
Well, you know, let's just say they did a good casting with SpongeBob.
Well, you should join the crew for Patrick.
Not for Patrick. You can be Squidward, period.
Well, so do you think that Ariana has made an upgrade or a downgrade?
In high school, we made this term for when you just change, but you're not really better or worse. And we call it a glow plateau.
Okay.
So I feel like she glow plateaued.
Glow plateau trademarked.
Right,
now,
glow plateau
officially.
trademarked officially.
Right.
So yeah, she's giving glow plateaued. I'm not really seeing either one of them as good, to be honest.
He literally has an infant child.
Fully.
Ariana kind of just is like a tornado.
Fully.
A force
I
of
agree.
nature that came through his life.
I agree.
And
well, he got swept up in it.
He really did.
No one asked him to get swept up in it.
And he really got carried away, like Dorothy.
Fully carried away.
And he's literally in the land of Oz right now because they're playing Wizard of Oz. Fully. And, you know, once Wizard of Oz is done filming, she gonna drop him, like, immediately. That's the real tea right there.
And you're fully right, but I don't know if he realizes that.
But you know who another female artist who's been in the spotlight recently?
Who?
Her name is Lizzo.
Oh.
You heard of her?
Yep, Lizzo Jones.
Lizzo Grande.
So, do you know what's happening with Lizzo?
No, tell me about it.
So, Lizzo is being sued right now.
What? No way.
And let me break it down for you. So, the reason why she's being sued is by her dance team, which is she has like 9 charges against her, but these are the ones that make sense.
Okay.
Her team is accusing her of a hostile work environment, religious harassment, racial harassment, disability discrimination, assault, and false imprisonment.
Damn.
And
that's like a hexagonal homicide.
Fully.
What is it after like quintuple?
Quintuple?
Sextuple?
Oh, just sex, period.
A sex homicide.
It's a sex homicide, period. Apparently, the dance captain was really religious.
Mm-hmm.
And when she found out one of the dance members was a virgin, she kept on bringing it up in front of everyone. And she was like, "Oh, look at this virgin!" Like she
was
pure.
shaming her.
No, she was like being proud of her.
Oh.
But like still, and the girl was.
But why are you spilling other people's tea?
Exactly, the girl was uncomfortable, and she was like, "Stop."
As she should be.
But also, she would make a bunch of sexual comments about herself too.
Like the captain.
The captain. And to the point where it's mentioned in the lawsuit that everyone on the team knew that the dance captain's fantasy was to be on the ground and sticking her tongue out with 10 big eggplants slapping on her tongue with her fat poom poom out.
I have no words.
That's what she wanted. She was, I guess, really freaky and felt the need to tell everybody that.
So are you saying that Lizzo is getting into trouble for having this member on her team? Or
Well, Lizzo also is accused, like the assault, Lizzo was accused of threatening to beat someone up.
Damn.
So Lizzo has done some things herself.
What's she gonna do, to sit on someone?
Oh! Let me say nothing.
Let me stop. Let me
Oh my
really
lord.
stop.
Oh my goodness. I really can't.
Let me stop. Let me really stop.
But back to the question. Lizzo is, yes, she's being accused of what her management has done, what the dance instructor has done, and also some things that she personally has done. But it sounds like the majority of the suit is against the dance captain. What this is showing us is that we are like about to enter a new age of pop stars.
Completely.
All the new pop stars about to get all canceled and they're about to retire and just disappear.
Right. And next is Taylor Swift. Watch out.
Ooh, girl, I don't know how she didn't get canceled already. For like her.
Let's be honest, because she's a white woman.
Fully, that's actually the real tea.
So she can get away with a lot
That's
more stuff.
the real.
And because she has a humongous fan base.
Literally, I was watching videos on TikTok. Apparently, people were buying tickets to stand in the parking lot.
Oh my god, speaking of that, on a related note.
What?
Apparently, at one of her shows, I think it might have been in Vegas or LA, somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the crowd was like stomping so hard and there were so many people stomping at the same time. It caused a 2.3 magnitude earthquake. I'm not kidding.
Oh, like it actually caused an earthquake?
Yes. A 2.3 magnitude. Which is not, like, huge, obviously. But it was still enough to cause an earthquake.
Imagine you are just sitting in your house and you feel like a rumbling and you think it's an earthquake and you look at the news, it is Taylor Swift fans.
Literally.
So today I wanted to talk a little bit about high school. How do you feel about that?
A little walk in memory lane.
Mm-hmm.
A little jog back.
We can do our little high school survival guide.
Right.
Because high school was traumatic for me. Was it traumatic for you?
You know, we were trying to remember things about high school.
Mm-hmm.
And we were, let's just say, having a really tough time remembering anything.
Literally.
So I think that alone can tell you a little bit about how the experience was overall.
Fully.
Well, we're hoping that you listeners out there are either having a great time or had a great time.
Or keeping it pushing.
Right.
Trust me, whenever you graduate and go into college, it'll be much better. And
or if you don't go to college, it'll still get better.
Anything's better than high school, girl. But you know how you grow? The way that you grow is by not staying surrounded by the same people.
You know how I grow? When I see you.
I was trying to avoid that.
How do I do the heart thing?
But we still got there anyways.
Well,
girl, you're not getting a heart from me. You getting this from me.
She broke my heart.
Right, and this is me getting a heart. I can't.
So, what kind of person were you in high school? A loner, a loser.
Girl, gay. That was just it.
Quite evident.
That was just the whole personality.
There's been no character development since high school, actually.
Well, the thing is, I went to a small high school. So he went to a big high school. I went to a small high school.
And by small high school, he means that his school
really
was
small.
Literally taking place in an old warehouse facility.
Fully, but a small one, not even a big warehouse.
Right. It was like a storage locker.
Fully. And it was a small ass building where they had K through 12, first of all. So literally I would be walking to classes and I would have to wait for a group of kindergartners to walk past me. So think about that. And my graduating class had 49 people.
Damn.
Yeah.
My graduating class had almost 300.
Yeah. So
maybe more. It
probably had more.
So.
Probably more.
Right.
So that just gives you a little sense of how different it was. And for me in high school, I was the only out person in high school.
So you're so brave for that.
Fully,
a trailblazer.
No, but you say that, but I literally was the trailblazer.
You were the Marsha P. Johnson of your school.
Fully. And I claim it, period.
So did anything crazy happen at your school?
My school was a lot of sheltered kids. If you're listening from my school, love you. Not to be shady or anything, but the things that I hear happening at normal high schools, there was no teen pregnancies. The most people ever did was smoking weed in the bathroom. Or
I'm shocked that even happened.
Right. Or juuling, girl.
Oh, the good old days of juuling.
Fully. Back when that was still a thing.
Well, for my school, we were kind of cuckoo crazy.
I could tell.
There's a few times that we made either state news, or I think there was one time we made national news.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So from the things I can remember, because it's not a lot, one controversy that our high school went through was the year before me, the graduating class before me, we still had senior quotes in the yearbook. And so one of the senior quotes that somehow made it past the editing phase through the checking phase was, "What's worse, candy corn or women's rights?"
Ooh.
And so that got published, thousands of copies, and, well, we got shut down. Our yearbook no longer had senior quotes after that.
I remember that. I remember that now.
Yeah. And then another time, some kid was I think running away from the assistant principal, and then the assistant principal caught up with him and put him in a chokehold.
Ooh.
And then obviously the principal, his ass got fired.
Right.
After that is over for you.
Fully.
And then another time, this was after we graduated, but they still stayed wild. So between my high school and there's another high school down the same road.
The rival one?
The rival school.
Okay.
After a basketball game, they went into a full-on brawl in the parking lot. Full-on brawl.
Over a basketball game?
Yes.
Child.
And by brawl, I mean hundreds of kids from each school. Just brawling it out in the streets. They thought it was Avengers Endgame.
Oh my lord.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, you have to remember that the area we live in, like, that's giving cringy.
Oh, it's beyond cringy.
Like, oh my god, that's so cringy.
Like, it's like they thought they ate that. They were starving.
Right.
They were left famished, actually.
They didn't eat that. You didn't eat that.
No.
Sweetie, let me take that away from you because you didn't eat that. So I guess for my school, the only thing that happened... Okay, there was a couple things that happened. The first day of high school, a car was on fire in the parking lot. But that's it. That's the whole story.
That was just a sign from God
Fully.
at that point.
They said, get out while you still can.
Right.
And then another...
I'm shocked your school is still currently running.
It shouldn't.
I'm shocked.
It shouldn't be.
Aghast.
It shouldn't be.
Like, I don't think it...
Like, literally, it shouldn't be. And that's not me just making a joke. Like, I don't think the teachers are accredited. And
right,
I don't think the admin is accredited.
Right, they hired them from Fiverr.
Girl, like,
from
it's...
Craigslist.
No, that's not a joke. So one of our science teachers went on maternity leave.
You are a case study for how the education panned out.
Oh, girl, education. Oh, I actually have a story I could tell.
Okay.
But so one of our teachers went on maternity leave, and they literally hired someone from Craigslist. They literally put out an ad, and one of us found it, and they showed it to like all the kids. It was them asking for a fucking teacher on Craigslist. Like, it's insane. But speaking of education, that reminds me.
She's gonna put the 8 in education.
Right. So I was in chemistry class, right?
Uh-huh.
And I hated our chemistry teacher. I hated him so much. He was just annoying and irrelevant, and it just ugly. I can't. I did not with him. And
he probably thought the same of you.
Well, let me tell the story. So we had a quiz, or like, it was a test actually, right? Mm-hmm. We had a test in class. Mm-hmm. And he would just sit in the front of the room and just not even look at us at all. And so I would cheat. And I was not the only one cheating. Let's just
like
say
Ariana,
that.
you was cheating.
Fully. That's why I support her.
Right.
And so I was not the only one cheating. Like, everybody was doing it fully. And so I would have my phone out on my little bar stool, because this was chemistry, so we were in the bar stools. Mm-hmm. And I would just be like, being inconspicuous, taking the test, and doing whatever. So then I turn in the test, and the day passes. The next day we come to class. He's like...
And he busted your ass?
Well, he's like, I want to make an announcement. And I'm like, okay. He's like, we had some really good grades this time around, but I want to give a shout out to one special person, someone who did exceptionally well this time.
And his name is Ellington Anthony Ramos III.
Fully. And he was like, the person who had the best grade in the class was Elias. And then he was like, so let's give him a round of applause. And so then everyone was clapping. And then I was like, in my head, I was like, how should I respond to this?
Right.
Because I'm like...
So this is a systematic plan to publicly humiliate you.
Well...
Or was he being for real?
He was being for real.
Oh.
And I was like, how do I respond to this? And so maybe I chose kind of what I shouldn't have said.
What'd you say?
But so they were all clapping for me. And what I said was, I really got on my high horse, girl. I said, I really don't appreciate you putting my grade out like that for the whole class. And he was shook, girl. He was like, And I said, how about you just keep that to yourself and we don't go around doing that? Because that can make other people feel really bad about themselves. So next time, keep it cute. I literally said that to him. And girl, he was gagging.
You got an A for attitude.
I was such a badass kid. Like, I would be putting the teachers in their place, as I really should. And
you would be so shook if you went to school in China.
Oh,
because
I'm sure.
all of the grades after each test are all publicly displayed for everyone to see. So everyone will know who did the best. Everyone will know who did the worst.
Oh my god, that's horrible. I feel like that should not be a thing.
I agree, because it's really public humiliation.
Really? So like I was in the right.
Well, I support you on that one.
But he was there quaking.
See, this is why I say we would not have been friends in high school.
Oh, probably not.
I ran into you in high school. I would not have fucked with you. And I would probably have talked shit about you behind your back. Who is that crazy fool in our class?
And I would have not ever given one thought about you.
You would be like, literally, who is that ugly ass Asian kid?
Right. I'd be like, oh, him? Like, who that?
Oh, Ching Chong? Kung Pao Chicken?
Right.
I don't know her.
Phony.
So, did you get into any high school drama or fights? Well,
I don't really know what to say.
Well, we can leave it at that.
Let's leave it at that.
All right. Well, I've also experienced some high school drama with peers. Mm-hmm. You would think it was a stage play of all the drama that was happening.
Ooh.
So in the friend group that I was in, so 2 of them were dating, and then they got into a huge fight because one of them cheated on the other. Ooh. So the theme of this episode is cheating, apparently. So Miss Ariana cheated on my other friend. And then there's a huge fallout, and the friend that got cheated on wanted everyone to take her side and just like essentially abandon Ariana. And I was like the type of person to be like, I don't want to get involved because I would like to stay friends with both of you. Mm-hmm. But apparently that was controversial because if I'm supporting the cheater, then that's like...
Were you the only one who supported her?
I mean, I wasn't supporting her as in like saying, but like, yes, girl, you better cheat again. The entire friend group split into essentially 3 groups. The one group with the person who got cheated on, and then Ariana, and then the rest of the people that I don't even remember their names. Ooh. So I would have to go back and forth during the school days to decide who to eat lunch with, who to hang out with. It just became such a hassle for me. But like in my head, I was like, I'm being a good friend by supporting everyone. Because I was doing that, I felt like I didn't become like a core member of anyone's group.
Exactly. I was going to say, why didn't you split up into one group?
Right.
You were just the one left out.
Exactly. And it kind of made the back end of my high school experience not that enjoyable. Ooh. So, if you are in high school drama right now, quit.
Right.
Just quit. But let's go on to our AI section.
Okay. So, we had AI generate us some scripts. And we're going to act out these scripts for you now.
So the scene starts with Alex and Maya sitting at a table eating their lunch.
Okay, so you're Alex?
Am I Alex? Okay, I can be Alex. Okay. So Alex takes... So what's the craziest thing you've ever done in school, Maya?
Oh, where do I even begin? Well, once I convinced everyone that our school mascot was secretly a ninja in disguise. I even made up a whole backstory and ninja training routine.
That's classic Maya. Always bringing ninja tales to life. Speaking of disguises, remember that time you wore a fake mustache to dodge detention?
Oh yes, the mustache escapade. I thought it was foolproof, but the teacher saw right through it. Turned out fake mustaches aren't the best for a 15-year-old.
No kidding, but it was a valiant effort. My mustachioed friend.
Hey, you can't blame me for trying. At least I got a good laugh out of it.
True. We need more laughs in this place. Like, why do we call it a pencil case? When it's clearly a pencil prison. Those things are so hard to open.
And don't get me started on the lockers. They're like a puzzle only a few can solve. It's like a secret society of locket whisperers.
unlocking the ancient art of the high school locker, the most exclusive club in town.
Precisely! Membership requires swift fingers and a knack for deciphering combination hieroglyphics.
I guess some mysteries will forever remain unsolved.
Yep. Like, why does it called homework when we rarely do it at home?
Right, a lifelong mystery that shall haunt us until graduation day. Wow, that was really good.
Right! I was giving my RuPaul Drag Race acting oath.
I felt like Nicole Kidman in the AMC commercial from that.
Right!
Like, you were serving Oscar.
And I was the bottle of popcorn.
Right. You're serving Oscar, BAFTA, VMAs.
Right! I'm serving Oscar commercial.
I think you need a career pivot, honestly.
Right? That's what I've been saying from the start.
Hollywood is calling your name.
That's what Jelly's just for. Jelly's just a platform for me to get famous, and I'm gonna go do my acting gig. I'm gonna leave her behind.
I'll be your agent.
No, girl, I'm leaving her behind. She missed that part. That's the crucial part of it.
I'm gonna leak our screenshots to see all the shit that you've said online.
Well, girl, she coming out with me, period. I'm pulling a Lizzo.
You're gonna be the next Lizzo.
Right.
Just put on a wig, no difference.
And let me tell you, how about that? Okay, so our next one is The Clash of Wits, a high school confrontation. Scene. A high school classroom. The bell rings. And students start to settle in their seats. Mr. Johnson, the teacher, stands at the front of the room, ready to begin the lesson.
I'm Mr. Johnson.
I'll be Mr. Johnson. Good morning, class. Today, we're going to discuss the importance of literature in shaping our worldview. Enter Jake, a witty, sarcastic high school student who walks in late with a mischievous grin on his face.
Sorry, Mr. Johnson. Couldn't resist the temptation to be fashionably late. You know, gotta keep up with the trends.
Jake, do you have any idea what time it is? You're disrupting the class.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson. I didn't know punctuality was the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe.
Ah, the class chuckles, and Mr. Johnson tries to hide his amusement. Jake, please take your seat, and let's get back to the lesson.
But of course, Mr. Johnson. Wouldn't want to miss out on the riveting discussion of who wore it better, Romeo or Hamlet.
The class bursts into laughter again. Ha! And Mr. Johnson tries to suppress a smile. Jake, your sarcasm won't get you anywhere in life. It's important to take your education seriously.
Oh, Mr. Johnson, I take my education very seriously. It's just that sometimes the education system doesn't take us seriously. I mean, who needs calculus when you can calculate the odds of surviving high school drama, right?
The class erupts in laughter, and Mr. Johnson tries to regain control. Class! Jake, that's enough. Let's focus on the lesson, shall we?
Absolutely, Mr. Johnson. But you know, sometimes I wonder if Shakespeare himself would have been as famous if he had to deal with quadratic equations. Am I right?
The class laughs again, and Mr. Johnson's shock is evident on his face. Jake, don't act shocked. Jake, this is a high school, not a comedy club. Show some respect.
Respect? Ah, yes. The elusive concept. Tell me, Mr. Johnson, how does one earn respect? By blindly obeying authority or by questioning, challenging, and pushing the boundaries?
The class falls silent, and Mr. Johnson is taken aback. Jake, there's a fine line between questioning authority and being disrespectful. You need to learn that.
Well, Mr. Johnson, maybe you're right. Maybe I should conform, blend in, and become just another brick in the wall. But until then, let's spice things up a bit, shall we?
The class bursts into laughter, and Mr. Johnson stands there, speechless. Jake, I don't even know what to say.
This sounds like a beginning of a fanfic, honestly. Don't worry, Mr. Johnson. I'm sure Shakespeare had moments like this too, but hey, thanks for the valuable life lesson. I'll be sure to write a sonnet about it.
The class erupts in laughter once again, leaving Mr. Johnson stunned, unable to respond. The woman was too stunned to speak.
Scene.
Wow, guys, so should we just quit podcasting and just become voice actors?
Honestly.
Are y'all seeing that life for us?
Like, I feel like we ate that.
Right.
And like Jake was giving you in high school.
Except you thought I was that cringy girl.
Yes, actually.
I was Jake Bub serving more cunts.
Like, ChatGPT actually went through your memories and gave the exact dialogue that you used.
Fully. And that's probably going to be actually able to happen in the future.
Right. So let's go back to discussing our real lives, shall we?
Okay.
So if you could do high school all over again, but with the knowledge that you have now, would you?
Like, I probably wouldn't. Like, I'm so not about the past and all about, like, moving forward. And just, what is there in high school for me? Nothing.
I mean, let's be honest, even if you went back with the knowledge you have now, the same thing would happen.
Right.
Because there has been no increase in knowledge.
No, literally, if I went back to high school, I would probably just drop out and do online school.
Would you want to do prom again?
Fuck no. No.
What did you think of prom? How was your prom experience?
Girl.
Because prom, for a lot of high schoolers, and what is portrayed in media...
Okay, well, that's what's portrayed. That's not the truth.
But it's portrayed as this, like, grand opus of your high school journey, and it is the ultimate celebration of everything.
Which is a fucking lie. Prom is just another boring-ass dance that you pay too much money for, that people take too seriously.
When you get to prom, it's just... wah, wah.
It's just horrible. Like, it's nothing. Like, it's nothing. Like, literally, it's nothing. Like, it's
Did
just
you
a
go
dance.
to prom both years, or just your senior year?
Well, my school didn't have it both years, so I went only senior year.
Okay. So I went my junior year.
Really?
And then it was so boring that the second year, we just got dinner and then went to go see Detective Pikachu.
Period? That's probably funner?
And then went to Waffle House.
Oh, that sounds much better,
So
actually.
it was way better.
Like, the fuck?
Did you have a date to prom?
Girl, fuck no. Girl, I think most people would assume that a date is someone you're
So did
with.
you have anyone that you were dating in high school?
I'm trying to figure out the right words to say it because she caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that question.
It's literally in our topic list for everyone to know.
Well, I was
so
talking about you.
Let's
girl.
expose her
I was talking
ass.
about you.
Let's expose her ass.
Okay, so yeah, I never dated anyone, but there were definitely straight guys who would be texting me on my number or on Kik. Ooh. And they would be like saying things that you would not think that they would say. But then when we go to school, they would not be looking me in the eye at all.
Duh.
They would not even talk to me. And one of them even had a girlfriend. Because I was the only one that was even out.
Right, you were giving Heartstopper before it even was a thing.
Alright, period.
You stopped my heart
Even though I'd never seen it.
because you gave me a panic attack.
Period. And that's what I'm trying to do. But so what was your experience dating and having crushes in high school?
I had none. Let's move on. So...
Okay. So she lying now?
So, did you do any drugs or go to parties in high school?
No.
Or any of that shenanigans?
No. Parents are always going to be home most of the
Exactly.
time. So how are you going to throw a high school party? That
Like,
doesn't even make sense.
maybe because I'm just not surrounded by, like, the rich people from our school that I just... Or, the
Right,
reality
maybe
is
maybe
that
she never got invited. That's the real thing.
I can't even disagree with that.
Well,
But for my experience with drugs, allegedly...
right.
This is all made up. So I didn't try anything until my senior year. And it was like, we're about to graduate. So I was 18, you know. And so it was the first time I snuck out of my house.
Ooh.
Yeah, I went through the back door. This was before we had cameras or anything. So I snuck out the back door. One of my friends lived on my street. So it was like a 10-minute walk from my house. And let's just say they had some devil's lettuce.
Oh, period.
And I was like, let me really try. And so I walked to their
So they were
house.
doing it at their own house?
Yeah, so the parents were gone.
Oh, okay.
So I walked to their house. This was like 1 a.m. at this point. And the only other type of drug that I tried was Juuls.
Which is not even
right. So the way you inhale Juuls is way different than
a devil's lettuce.
Exactly. And so my friend who was experienced in the lettuce was knocked out. She was crossed.
She was crossed.
And so I was like, I didn't sneak out and walk over here in the dead of night for nothing.
Right.
So let me just try.
Right.
And so I tried it the same way I tried a Juul. Mistake number 1. Because that was way too much.
Ooh.
It was way too much.
Ooh.
And on top of that, I took 2 hits.
Did you get paranoid?
Yes, I did.
Ooh.
Let me tell you, because I took my first hit. And it didn't hit immediately because, in my experience, Juuls hit immediately. So I was like, okay, let me hit it again because I don't think I did it right.
I think that happens to every beginner.
I mean, no one told me how to do it. So
yeah.
I really had to just trial and error. So the second time, I'm like, okay, maybe I should just let me stop. Because clearly it's still not working, so let me just give it some time. And so we were in the backyard, outside. And then my friend goes back inside to check on the friend that's crossed. And so I'm out there, I'm chilling. And then I start feeling a tingle, a buzzing sensation in my feet.
In your feet?
In my feet. That's where it begins for me. In my feet, in my fingertips. In my limb extremities.
That's interesting.
And so then I'm starting to feel this buzz like crawling up my body. And I'm like, literally, what's going on? And then that was my last thought. Consciously. And then the next thing I know, I'm standing up and my friend who was checking on the other friend was outside again, and she was looking at me like I was about to murder someone. She was like, are you okay?
What did you do?
I was just standing, just like without moving, like Slender Man. And because I was like frozen and I was like, what am I feeling?
Oh my god.
And then I remembered like going on Google and being like, what does devil's lettuce like feel like? And I was getting really paranoid. I thought I was gonna die. Like, I literally thought I was gonna die. And then every little sound, like a cabinet closing or the clock ticking, was really loud for me.
Wow.
And so then after that, I just like laid on the couch because I was too scared to go home. I laid on the couch until like 5 or 6 a.m. When the sun was coming out. And then I was like, I need to go. And so then I just walked home and then went to bed. And
your parents didn't find out?
No, they didn't.
Literally, I didn't try like for real until college. So like in high school, I didn't ever have anything.
Yeah, because your first time was with me.
Yeah, that's true.
I popped her.
She corrupting me.
Right, I popped her lettuce.
So I know this was a big part of your life. Not that I really gave a fuck though. I didn't really care. But so let's hear it from her perspective. How is applying to colleges in junior and senior year?
You know, this is actually good for anyone who is in high school currently and getting ready for college. This is our applying to college and general senior year advice for anyone who is curious. So for me, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I spent a lot of time taking AP classes. I think I finished with like 8 AP classes, maybe more.
Do you regret taking AP classes?
Yes, I fully do.
As you should.
I remember taking AP Physics, and for why? Because I couldn't get college credit for AP Physics in the first place, and I didn't need physics for what I wanted to do anyway.
Actually, really dumb.
And so I just took that class because I thought that was the crowd that I needed to be in. I was like, I'm not taking no honors classes.
Girl, you thought you needed to be with the AP Physics crowd?
I thought I just needed to be with all the AP kids. Because in my head, that's how you get to college. And what people tell you, that there's a formula to get into college, and you have to get this score, do this club, do this volunteering thing.
It's wrong.
Get that out of your head, because there is no formula
exactly
to getting into college.
Especially nowadays, girl.
Especially now.
Let's talk about it.
Like, there are just too many factors that plays into college admissions from a group of 8 humans looking at your stuff. And that there is no way that you can check off all of these boxes to get into college guaranteed.
And the real thing is that these people place too much pressure on just school.
Yes.
But the college admissions, they don't care about just school. They don't care that you got all 5s in your AP classes. And they don't care that you got a, like, what is it, 1,600 on the SAT?
Something like that.
Because they care about more things than that. What good do any of those things do if you can't even write an essay for shit?
Exactly.
If you haven't had any extracurriculars that you've actually stuck with for a amount of years. People get mad because they have, like, stupid shit on their resume. Like, shit that they've done for, like, 2 years. Or shit that's just stupid. Like, Key Club. Or, like, just stupid-ass shit. And then they get mad when no one's impressed with that. Like, do something unique. Do something different and stick with it for a long time.
Or if you're not going to do something unique and niche, do something that you enjoy.
Exactly.
Just find something that you enjoy.
That you're actually passionate about.
And get good at that.
Exactly. That's what colleges want. They want people who are authentically themselves. Not just people who are doing the same shit as everybody else. Because how are you going to stand out if you're doing the same shit as everybody else?
Also, at the end of the day, you are trying to grow as a person. You're not trying to become a robot.
Right. It's not even about college. It's about self-growth.
So the best advice I can give is just try to be the best version of a human that you can at that age.
Right.
And if the college sees that you are correct for their demographic, then you will get in. Like, the universe will lead you there.
Right.
And yes, I'm not saying abandon all your classes. Don't take any AP classes. Don't, like, fail your SATs, whatever. You should still try your best at those. But don't put so much pressure on yourself that you just hate your life.
And the other thing is, college is not the pinnacle of your life. I know that you've been told that for your entire life, that all of these years you're working up to is to go to college.
Get rid of this dream school idea.
Oh my god, the dream school is so stupid.
Because once you get there,
you're going to realize it's not a dream.
It won't be a dream, and your experience is still going to be what you make of it
Exactly.
anywhere you go.
Exactly.
Now, obviously there are schools that are better than others, and there's a lot of benefits that come to going to good schools. But again, don't put so much pressure on yourself to get into those schools that you're, like, unrealistic with your life.
Exactly. And college is not the pinnacle of your life.
And I mean, for me, I was forced to actually go to SAT camps, like, after school and in the summer. And these SAT, first of all, the SAT camp that I went to, that's fully a scam.
Is it?
Is shut down.
Ooh.
You know what it is now?
What?
It's a Pizza Hut.
Not a pizza.
It's a Pizza Hut. So that's how you know. Like, when I went there, I don't want to go on too much of a tangent, but when I was at the SAT camp, I knew it was a scam.
Why?
Because they were like, we have the best technology, we have the best teachers. Bitch, the teachers were high school students.
Not
working
that.
there as their summer job.
Not that.
Literally, they were like high school seniors.
So they were your same age?
Yes! I'm not even kidding. They were maybe a year older.
Oh my lord.
And then the best technology was some files on a flash drive.
Oh.
And the flash drive that they gave me was, like, missing a piece from the beginning. And we had to put a $50 deposit for the flash drive. And so by the time I left the camp and I was supposed to return the flash drive to get my $50 back, they said I broke the flash drive.
Wow.
And they wouldn't give me back my $50. But the flash drive they gave me was defunct in the first place.
So she gets getting scammed.
Well, my parents got scammed. And so I had a whole fight with that. But how was your experience applying to college, since it was much different than mine?
Right. My parents did not put that much pressure on me to apply to college. Well, the thing is, I knew that I had to get a scholarship if I wanted to go to a 4-year school because my parents could not afford it. Mm-hmm. And so I was applying to a lot of community colleges. Ooh. And I was fully prepared to go to community college and just transfer from there, which is fine.
Is a viable
That's
option.
actually smarter, honestly.
It saves you
than
money.
Paying a whole buttload of money for a marginally better education.
Again, like, this path that we're all trained to think that you have to take is not necessarily going to be the same for everyone.
Exactly. And there's no one right way to do it. You can be successful with any path.
Yeah.
But so I was preparing to go to community college, and I was applying to some scholarships and some programs just because, like, fuck it, whatever. And I actually got one by the miracle of God, Philly. I manifested it.
I'm proud of her.
And I was able to go to...
I don't know how you got it.
Girl, because I'm smart. How about that? And I was able to go to a good school for a full ride. And I'm very thankful to that organization. And
And we would have never met otherwise.
we would have never met otherwise. Exactly. So everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
It's because Jelly was destined to be. Period.
Right.
But so, yeah, I mean, I only applied to 4 schools. How many schools did you apply to?
I surprisingly didn't apply to as many as you would think. But I applied to... Girl, I applied to some of the prestigious things. I didn't apply to Ivies because I was, like, not about that life. But I applied to, like, Northwestern, Northeastern, like, Boston, NYU. Girl, NYU was one of my dream schools at the
Really?
beginning.
I can see that for you.
But at the end, like, now that I'm thinking back, thank God I didn't get into NYU because it's $75K a year.
You're lying.
I'm not kidding. It's $75K a year.
The way
And some people don't even make that salary a year.
The way I know someone who goes there.
I know a couple of people that went to NYU as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So thank God.
Well, girl, they must have money. Let's just say that.
Right. And
I'm jealous.
yeah.
But literally, I have a funny story. I applied. Well, okay. So, you know, like, fucking. Oh my God. What's the thing called that you apply to colleges on?
Common App.
Common App, yes. So on
Throwback.
I forgot the name of it. But so on Common App, I applied to Cornell.
You did?
Well, I wrote out the entire application, but of course, as I do, it was very last minute. And I had been working on it for like a while because it lets you save it.
Nowadays, you could just chat GPT that.
Fully. But this was back in the olden days.
Right. When the internet wasn't even a thing.
Fully, I had to fully write it with pen and quill. Right. And so I was writing it, and
you gotta mail it out with the carrier pigeon.
Fully. And this was like really late at night, right? And it was right before the deadline of the day to submit it.
Did you miss the deadline?
I was in the middle of writing it. I finished writing everything. I fell asleep at my laptop, and I missed the deadline.
That's low-key the universe telling you something.
Fully.
So.
And I literally woke up, and I was like, what time is it? And then I realized it was like 9 a.m. And then I looked, and it was like, this application portal has closed. And I was screaming. I was like, ah!
Well.
But we knew that was never going to happen. That was never in the cards for me. So I didn't even really care.
Well, I had a good time talking about high school, visiting memory lane.
Oh, well, period.
And if you guys want to hear us talk about college next, then stay tuned.
Subscribe. You better subscribe.
Subscribe, follow, share.
Share us.
Like.
Share, like.
And we have our highlight reels every day.
Right, and we watching you to make sure you're sharing and liking.
Right. You better not feel safe or in your house because we're watching you.
Exactly. Like you should be watching us. We watching you.
Yeah, watch out. Watch out.
Exactly.
So let's end off our episode today with a couple of strange, sad, just current events.
Okay.
So in China, there's been extreme heat waves going on, and the new trend of covering up and preventing sunburns is having a full body facekini.
Not a facekini.
And on screen you guys can see what a facekini looks like, or if you're listening, Google what it looks like because it's kind of creepy.
It's horrifying.
It's basically like one of those wrestling masks.
It looks like a luchador mask.
Right.
But uglier.
And the reason for this is because Asian people don't like to get tan. They want to stay pale. And so that's the best way to get a full body, like keep your full body pale in the same color.
Well, I'm happy for them.
You should try it. I think you would look great.
You think I should try it? Girl. Maybe you should try it, girl. Because you're looking a bit too tan.
And the next news is that a couple were vacationing in an underwater hotel. And so this man was going to propose to his wife. And he went diving, went underwater, and the whole room is glass, so you can see out.
Like he was trying to like be on the outside.
Yes.
Okay.
So he was in the outside, and the wife was in the inside, and she saw him on the outside, and then he opened up like a ring case to propose to her.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so happy, and she was gonna say yes, and then he never surfaced.
Like he drowned.
He drowned.
Did he not have an oxygen tank or nothing?
I don't know what happened. Maybe something to do with
Was
the
no one
tides.
with him?
No, he was diving by himself.
Oh well, that's his first mistake.
And so he wanted to do something that was very romantic, but it ended up in tragedy.
That's why love is overrated. Period.
Right. And now finally, I wanted to tie it back to our alien thing from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, OceanGate, who are the same people responsible for the submarine incident, now they already plan to send 1,000 people to a floating colony on Venus by 2050. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are, how are they not arrested? How is the company still functioning? Like,
because those people that went on the submarine signed papers.
Oh my
So they're protected by the law.
oh my god. Well, let's just say those people who get in that boat or get in that submarine or that spaceship, whatever it's about to be.
It's a floating colony.
Girl. Let's hope Elon Musk goes.
Well,
Let's just say that.
let's get all the rich people to go. How about
Floating. We can say, y'all, bye-bye. Go in the floating colony.
that? Right. And the thing is, Venus is the hottest
It's
planet.
not going to be floating for long.
Oh, well. I mean, in space, it's going to be floating.
Forever.
Right.
Eternally. In bits and pieces.
Would you ever want to live in a different planet if you could?
I mean, like, if it was possible, yeah, I think it could be cool. But honestly, I don't know. Because then we would have to be in the beginning of civilization.
Yeah.
And we would have to be literally rebuilding it from the ground up.
There's already so much to see on Earth. I'm good being here.
Yeah, honestly.
I think humans are Earthlings. Let's
I don't
stay here.
I don't see us going to another planet, like living in another planet.
Especially by 2050.
in our lifetime.
Girl.
2050 is way too short of a timeline.
Maybe 250.
Fully. Not even 210, girl.
Or fully.
But yeah, no. I am more interested in stuff like AI and like online worlds and like stuff like that. I don't feel like the need to go to another world. Like another real world. It's not my interest.
Right.
Well, there we go.
There you go. We made it through another episode.
Wow. Episode 4?
This is the most consecutive episodes we've posted ever.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm proud of us.
So let's see if it's really gonna keep up.
And just for that, you guys should subscribe.
Exactly. If we make it to 100 subscribers by the end of this month, we'll have not by the end of
a kiss.
not by the end of this month, by the end of this year.
Right.
You think it's possible? You think
I think it's
we can
possible.
do it? We're at
With
40
the help of you guys.
Right. We're at 43 right now. It actually is very possible.
It is.
100 is not that high of an estimate.
Yeah.
So if we can get that, then we are going to do something special.
Right. Real special.
Well, I don't subscribe to this Kiss idea. That's her own idea.
I said kiss as in the band.
Oh, period. Let's have some kiss as in sun kiss. Period.
Exactly. As in some Hershey kiss.
Right. Okay, well, bye to the Josters.
Thank you guys so much for listening and chiming in. And as always, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Mwah.